Hey, what's up guys? I'm here with Thomas Yin and he's the founder of Online Guru Trader and he's also featured in Straits Times, Business Times and also a couple of magazines, very prominent magazines in Singapore. So Thomas, can you share a little bit about how do you get started?
Thank you, Karen, for the introduction. Basically, I started in 1996 investing in Malaysia shares. I was in the Air Force as a regular. I saw a lot of people are looking at the teletext and talking about making money. You can actually go through Singapore brokerages to buy Malaysia shares back then. Greed came over me and I actually wanted to participate also. So I put my money in. Made some money, 97 also make. Then come 98, what happens is the Malaysia government actually stopped us from buying and selling Malaysia shares overnight. So just overnight, my investment from a $1 or $2 share actually became 10 cents or 1 cent just overnight. But I only realized it 5 years later when it was unsuspended. That was a very important lesson to me. So I told myself I need to educate myself more. That's how I started, but along the way till now, I have attended courses, read hundreds of books on investing and trading. So I have knowledge in options, CFD, stocks, and Forex as well. I have never stopped since 1996 till now. Right now, I do more of futures and US stocks and also Forex.
Okay, that's great. Thanks, Thomas. Every trader investor went through this phase where they are not seeing any results, especially in the first few years, and also blowing a couple of accounts. So what is the best lesson that you have learned from your own investment and trading journey?
The best lesson I've learned is not to be greedy and also not to be overwhelmed by the money. I would say if you do it right and educate yourself to the point whereby you know that it's safe to invest or trade, the money will follow along the way. What I did initially, which I wasn't successful, is because I was always overwhelmed by greed, always going for the money, always going for the quick buck. Because of that, I would just, learn something and I would say, okay, this is it, I'm going to strike rich and I will pump my money in and I'll get burned. Never do that. If you encounter anything, be it a strategy or planning or things like that, make sure you have tested it out and it has the track record so-called, whereby you have tested it out for maybe months or even years and know that it is consistently generating a positive return or positive result. Then you can go ahead and employ it consistently into the future.
You have taught a lot of traders, more than 3,000 traders, and helped a lot of traders become successful traders. Then what do you think are the common mistakes that you observe among aspiring and also experienced traders?
There's a few common ones, but one very common one is that most traders, be it experienced or newbies, they always try to go for the analysis strategy. That means just the analysis method, okay? And they will think that as long as I get the analysis correct, the direction correct, the move correct, I will be consistently and forever profitable. This is partly true only. Why I say this is because if you do not have a good risk management or money management, you will not be profitable consistently. You do not have the psychology to follow through with your analysis method or your risk management concept or plan, you will not be successful as well. So I would say the common mistake is people do not focus what I call the 3 pillars of trading success, which is psychology, analysis method, and risk management. Just visualize a 3-legged stool. Okay, the 3 pillars is actually the 3-legged stool. If I take one leg away and ask you to sit on it, you will definitely fall. So these 3 pillars is so important that you cannot do without one or the other.
Thomas, you've mentioned about the 3 pillars, which is the analysis, psychology, and also risk management. Can you tell us a little bit about your strategy? How do you approach the market? How do you evaluate and trade the markets?
99% I'm using, almost 100% I'm using technical analysis. I actually don't follow news or fundamentals a lot. I do use fundamental and news on the macro level, as in, okay, sometimes this news will come out, I would say, generally this type of news will affect what type of things. And I will just take it as a pinch of salt. Why is that so? Is because most of the time, news is not on time. Once the news is out, if things have already moved, it has already moved. It's too late for us retail people to actually get in. If the news is out and things did not move, and you get in, it actually don't move. Okay, At some point in time in the future, it may move. Because of this news right now, it could be months, it could be years. Use it as a macro level and not just use it for timing. In terms of timing and direction, most of the time, like I say, I use technical analysis. Yeah. Basically, I use very simple analysis, MACD, and also moving average. Of course, the parameters I set is different from what is normally people use. When I say this, most of you out there who don't know me would think that this is a very common indicators. I totally agree. It's not how...
It's not what you use, but how you use it.
Yes, it's not what you use, but how you use it and how you use it correctly and make it profitable for you.
Because a lot of people also message me every week and they ask, Karen, what indicator do you use? Even if I give you the number, you might not be able to use it on the time I use it. You might not be able to use it the way I use it. So I totally agree with.
The time frame as well.
Yeah, also the time frame.
The time frame you're looking at and the time frame I'm looking at.
Yeah.
What is the right time frame to look at? If we give you the numbers and even the exact indicators, the results will still not be the same.
Totally agree. So guys, make sure you ask the right questions, okay? Thomas, there are many ways that you can learn trading, right? You can learn through reading, you can learn through mentorship, you can learn through going to finance school maybe. Then what would you say is the best way for you to learn trading, and how did you learn trading yourself?
After going through so many things, I believe reading gives a lot of knowledge, theory, but not so much of practical application. The reading is very good, okay? But the thing is, you need to know what to extract out from the reading, the theory that is applicable, and actually try and apply it and see whether it works. Because some of the things that is talked about in the books or in the theories, some may not work for you. It may be working for the author. When you apply it or maybe you interpret it wrongly, it doesn't work for you for some reasons. I'm not here to promote any courses, but I have attended more than $50,000 worth of courses, whether it's investing, motivation, or things like that. I believe intensive training, that 1-2 days, 3 days, even attended 4-5 days intensive from morning till night, late night, then I go home. I benefited a lot. Compared with reading books. If those who want a big jump in your level of understanding in whatever subject, intense training, immersed training for that few days through a course, I would say it's very beneficial. But if you want to take your time, then books is a good way to do it. Yeah.
Personally, for me, I invested also 30 to 40k into learning about the financial markets, and I would say it is totally worth it, because a lot of people say, oh, why all these gurus? Why do you go and teach? Because I can search everything on Google. I'm like, fine, go and search on Google, because it's going to take you 10 years. When you can learn from a course and then take you 2 to 3 years. But if you want to shortcut a journey, as what Thomas said, you go and learn from a mentor who has been there and done that, and then you can shortcut your journey.
How do you value time for yourself? Because everyone only have 24 hours. Like what Karen said, do you want to spend 10 years just to master a subject or a topic, like what she said, a year or 3, shortcut your learning curve by a lot, by extracting the expertise and the experience and the skill sets from someone who has already done it. Okay, the smart way will be to do the later, which is get it from someone else.
So one thing you mentioned about is trading psychology. So what would you say is the best trading psychology that a trader should have for them to become a very successful trader?
Just one thing that I want to say is have the belief in your system, in your entire full strategy. When I say the full strategy is your psychology, your analysis method, and your risk management. For me, I don't believe. I have conviction, okay, which is a much higher level than strong belief. I have total conviction in my system, my strategy, that it will work in the long run. Not in the short run, as in that 1 trade or 2 trade, because we never know that 1 or 2 trade is going to make you a win or a loss. Since the 1-2 trade, we cannot control the outcome, through our strategy or system, we must have conviction that in the long run, in terms of 100 trades, 1,000 trades, it's going to have a positive result and a positive outcome. That is something that we can control. Through our risk management, our analysis method, the results will be consistent.
Confidence will also help you to prevent yourself from getting to emotional trading, because when they're not confident on their system, once they open a trade, they'll start to adjust things. Adjust their TP target, adjust their stop loss target. Most people do this because they're not confident of their system. They don't have conviction, like what Thomas said. So I totally agree with that. Thomas, can you share with us what platform would you recommend traders to trade if they want to go into stocks trading?
Short term, there's short term brokerages that give you commission savings. Short term wise, I would say for Singapore stocks, I use City Index, IG, CMC, mainly City Index. I just tell you the brokerages I have. Basically, I have the few that I mentioned just now. I have Interactive Brokers, I have Think or Swim, now it's called TD Ameritrade. For people out there, when you want to open a brokerage, what you should think about is actually compare the commissions. Which one offers you the better commissions? If you CFD, then which one gives you a better swap or so-called interest rate charge when you hold overnight? So you have to do your sums and calculation and see which one is more economical and gives you more savings when you trade through the brokerage. That should be your deciding factor and not just follow what I do. If you have a slightly bigger capital, Interactive Brokers is one of the best in terms of commissions and savings. Don't believe what I say, just go and check it out yourself, do your own due diligence.
So aside from looking at commissions, what are the other criteria that you look at before a trader should choose a broker?